Danilo, I want to come to you with our next question. And, we talked about how these technologies have potential to really change and disrupt the way that we see the world and the way that we work. But from an organizational perspective, Shale mentioned the idea of when your CFO says, RPAs for free from Microsoft, you go do this. Ultimately, there needs to be a cost benefit and there needs to be an advantage for the organization to bring in automation. Can you share a little bit on your thoughts on maybe how these new technologies and automation can help organizations improve their valuation, and really how do you measure that?
Sure. So there's two sides to this, and a lot of battle scars have taught me this. So there's two things here: the ability for technology to create efficiencies and to unlock new revenue streams, and the ability for a company to be able to track those benefits. To me, those are fundamentally two very different skill sets. And very few companies today have both of those skill sets. So that's one thing that people need to kind of get a handle on, because a lot of times I see very good automation AI programs doing some great work. I mean, they're performing thousands of hours. They're letting people go home earlier, improving the client NPS scores. How is it that then the business can say, well, this is not providing a benefit? It's hard to track the benefits. Just because the benefits are hard to track doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means that we haven't evolved yet to a point where we know how to track them better. Companies don't have a financial reporting or a budgetary process in place that allows them to do it efficiently. That's something that will catch up over time. I think that's going to definitely give automation AI a lot more credit than it's been given in the last couple of years. But fundamentally, those are different skill sets, and people have to realize that. So company valuations, right, they work off a multiple. So if you're a fintech company, you get a multiple of 10 or 20x, and that's 20 or 20x of your top line revenue or your EBITDA, for instance. And there's also different multiples of earnings that you can do there as well. So if you have an automation program that's essentially making the company more efficient, it's allowing you to do more work with less people, or allowing you to bring in extra revenue streams. You are inherently increasing the top line revenue or improving the bottom line profitability, which means that when you then times that by a multiple in order to get a company valuation, you have a higher valuation. So that's logic sense. I think a lot of people don't connect the power of automation AI with the actual impact that it can impact the valuation of a company. So I think after writing an article about that back in February with UiPath and ISG for Business Insider and AI Magazine, a lot of people started realizing, oh, there actually is an impact here from automation in the company valuation. There may not be very much right now because the skill of tracking benefits to the balance sheet and the profit and loss accounts are not there yet for most companies. But when they finally get their heads around that, improve their budget processes, they will finally see that automation AI actually has quite a good impact on company valuations. So I don't want to labor that point too long. Definitely something to give people food for thought. I'm sure we have other things to discuss as well, but something to definitely not forget about and consider.